He's on fire. Fantastic performance.
Oh, what a leap. Takes a superb catch. What a win. That's done it. The whole team running over to celebrate.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the action here at the Kia Oval here. England and Australia. This is our second one-day international of course, 3 ODIs that we are going to be playing as Australia against England as we prepare for the Australian summer. Next Friday we'll have the 3rd ODI and then we'll have a one-off T20 before. Of course, the Australian summer really kicks off with some T20 games against Sri Lanka and Pakistan, if I'm correct in saying that. I think it's Pakistan first, then maybe Sri Lanka second. So it's currently 1-0. England have the early advantage. I didn't even have a look at the toss to see what was happening. I believe Australia are going to bat first, if I am correct in saying that. Yes, I am. So Warner and Finch making their way out to the middle. It's going to be an interesting Australian summer to see how these two go about it. Both of them have been named in the Australian T20 teams. It'll be interesting to see because obviously last year we had so much time where there was no Dave Warner or Steve Smith, but Australia, they really, really want to win the 2020 World Cup next year, so they're putting all their A-grade superstars in to try and get it done. Let's see how Jofra Archer goes here in the opening over. Gets it off ball to start things off. And finally, 5 balls in, Aaron Finch off the mark. Of course, England winning that first test match, or first one-day international quite easily. Had runs on the board, and Australia just unable to chase it down. I think it was a 280-odd chase that Australia couldn't quite get near in the end. It'll be interesting to see if Australia's batsmen can really work themselves up here today. There's an outside edge. There's a wicket. David Warner's going to go. Mark Wood, the man to get that first wicket for England. Of course, it was Australia's top and middle order that failed to really get runs. I think there was 2 big run scorers, Aaron Finch and Alex Carey, sort of were the 2 guys. There's a big top edge from Khawaja. That'll go all the way to the boundary rope for 6. But it was mostly those 2 guys in Finch and Khawaja that got Australia runs in the opening innings. So whether or not Khawaja, Carey, who got Australia runs in the opening innings. So they're going to be looking for some runs from some other players as well. And Khawaja is starting to do that right now. He's hit 4 boundaries in his opening 5 balls and a free hit. There's an outside edge that goes for just the 1 there. Oh, jeez, a close ball there. So Australia 1 for 28 after 4.4 overs, going at about a run a ball, or exactly a run a ball at the moment. And Usman Khawaja really the aggressor of the 2 players. We have seen Khawaja play quite well in 2020 cricket, mostly at domestic level in the Big Bash. Not so much at international level with Australia, and he even got dropped from that World Cup side, I think, at some point. Although he had like a hamstring issue. That's a good pull shot all the way for 4. England, of course, beating Australia in their return game in the World Cup. Australia winning the first one, and then England beating them in that crucial knockout semi-final game to send themselves into the World Cup final, which they then drew with New Zealand, but were awarded the World Cup on boundaries, as everyone I'm sure is well aware. I saw a funny story over the week, maybe not this week, but it was maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it was the English team telling, this is a free hit by the way, all the way down to the boundary for 4. It was the English team telling Nathan Lyon not to celebrate a drawn series. No, don't celebrate a draw, but of course, that's exactly what England were doing when they won the World Cup. They drew the World Cup. Anyway, enough about that. It's finished now. We're over it. We've been, you've had your fun. You've won your World Cup, but you haven't won back the Ashes at home. And I think that's almost a win for Australia, being able to draw a series away from home. With so many players out for a lot of the series before they finally came back in and together, with those superstars from the scandal coming back and being able to play quite significant roles. David Warner was obviously England's best player for the series, and Steve Smith was Australia's best player for the series. So both of them playing significant roles for the Australian side. So this is a close call with the run out, but these two, they batted quite valiantly here. Aaron Finch starting to pick up his run rate as well. There's another boundary. Partnership worth almost 50 or even more than 50, I would have to imagine. David Warner went out fairly quickly in the opening few moments. There is a wicket just off the outside of the bat of Aaron Finch. And Australia 2 down now, so that big partnership that they were building has come to a close. Ben Stokes takes the catch at first slip, and it was quite a sharp chance as well. It wasn't really too much of a chance. There was no real outside edge. It was kind of off the middle of the bat, but just not enough power on it from Aaron Finch. And the catch able to be taken there by Ben Stokes, and it brings Steve Smith to the crease, who gets off the mark with his first ball. So England playing the 2 spinners today. There's a bit of a shout. No real result. They are playing the 2 spinners, obviously Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid. The 2 guys that they are playing with. Usman Khawaja for Australia at the moment. Still trucking along, 34 from 22 now. There's an inside edge. Past Butler. Goes for 4. A bit of luck there for the Australian. There's Chris Wokes. Tries to get him out. Next ball. Finds the edge again. This time the outside of the bat. Ross puts the finger up. And England get another wicket. So they've done quite well to recover this here, England. They were starting to see Australia get away. They had quite a big partnership. Khawaja was looking good. Finch was looking good. And all of a sudden, both those men are out. And it brings Steve Smith and Alex Carey to the wicket. So Alex Carey was a big run scorer for Australia in the last match. Obviously, I think he got about 61-ish. Somewhere in the 50 to 60 range. Didn't quite go on and get 100, but no one else really in the Australian side other than Finch and Carey managed to get anything more than a start. So looking to just try and hold themselves in at the moment. That's a great cut shot from Steve Smith. That'll be 4, and these 2 mostly just playing around with singles and 2s, but there is the occasional boundary there, and Steve Smith getting a bit fancy here with reverse sweep, and that'll be 4 runs for Steve Smith. And this time just using the blade, similar to how Aaron Finch got himself dismissed, except there's no slip fielder to be able to take that catch there. And they get away with it. There's a quick single between these 2. And this partnership already building sort of in the 40 to 50 mark. Another quick, tight run. Geez, these 2, they're getting very dangerous between the wickets. They're certainly creating opportunities for England. They're not running stupidly hard, but they are running quite hard at all. There's a little shot from Steve Smith, inventive, but another single, and again another tight single. This one down the ground from Smith, but just the 1. And again, we've seen this partnership build mostly off the back of singles and 2s. You can see the strike rate of these guys below 100, so they've been batting quite slowly here, but it's exactly what Australia need in this middle part of the game. They've been together since about the 15th over, and they've been able to see this little period out here, keeping Australia's score to a pretty good one. Now this will be toward the boundary from Steve Smith. Will it go all the way? It will. And that'll bring up 50 for Steve Smith. His first half century of this little 1-day international series. 4 boundaries to get there. So it has been quite slow going, as we said. It's a big full toss, and they get another quick single. The running between the wickets has been very good. It's put a lot of pressure on the England fielders. That shot from Alex Carey, very, very good. That's 4 runs straight down the ground. And a top edge this time from Smith. No one is going to be standing 50 metres behind the keeper. Ends up going for 4, and Steve Smith now really starting to put on the accelerator. That's another boundary. Straight down the ground. And these 2, they've seen out this little period. They've got themselves into a strong position, and now they can attack the England bowlers. 31 overs gone. The 200 comes up. Steve Smith into the 70s. Alex Carey into the 40s. And these 2 guys have just built and built and built, and this is a massive partnership now. I think it'd be worth close to 100, if not more than 100. Tight single here again. And again, the running between wickets is very good for these 2. It's quick, causing things like this, misfields, and just allowing singles to happen. There'll be another single, going to be a leg by. They're just forcing the England bowlers and the fielders under pressure. Again, they're going to look for 2 here. This is going to be close. Coming back, and that's out, I think. Good work from Moeen Ali here. I don't know how close it's going to be. Yes, it is. Or is it? Oh, hang on. Let's have a look here. It looks like Smith is just short. Ali gets it and just almost immediately on his follow-through gets the ball onto the stumps and it's out. So Steve Smith, born for 80 there. Running between the wickets was good, but it was also dangerous at times. And we've seen it cause a problem for them. As Steve Smith removes himself from the wicket there. Alex Carey bringing up a half century as well for Australia. He's into the 50s now, 52. That's back-to-back half centuries from Alex Carey. He'll be pretty happy with that. Again, just some questionable running between the wickets with these two. Free hit there from Glenn Maxwell that he doesn't quite time, but they're able to get one from it as the catch is taken it sort of deep mid-on. And another single. So Australia getting a very respectable total at the moment. Going at above 6 and over. 236, 240 now inside the first 40 overs. And if they can even accelerate to 7 or 8 and over through the last 10 overs, all of a sudden Australia are on a 320 sort of a score, and it creates a little bit of doubt in the English batsmen's minds whether or not they can chase that score down. I mean, they'll feel confident, but you just never know how these things are going to play out. And right now Australia looking very good. A couple of runs here from Maxwell and Carey. They'll stick with the 2. And even the big show, Glenn Maxwell's looking quite good as well at the crease. Alex Carey, a bit exhausted from all his running between the wickets. You can see his stamina was very low there. And it's caused a run-out opportunity. They're going to go upstairs here. Not sure how close this is, but it does look like Carey is short of his ground. So both of Australia's main men, Carey and Smith, in terms of scores, this innings see themselves out through runouts. Good bit of work there from Bairstow, who's actually caused both of these runouts and almost causing another one here with Marcus Stoinis. But it's not going to be a runout for him. It's an outside edge that sees him out. Moeen Ali getting the wicket. Marcus Stoinis goes back to the crease pretty quick smart, and it means that Glenn Maxwell is going to just turn it up as he's got Adam Zampa for company at the wicket. But Glenn Maxwell has played some cameo innings for Australia in the past. He's going to need a solid cameo here for them as well to bat out these last 5 overs. And they're on about 280 at the moment, so anything above 320 Australia would take from here. They would absolutely love it. And 3 boundaries in a row from Maxwell into the 40s, and absolutely middles that one. That is a massive 6. 300 up for Australia. And Glenn Maxwell looking the goods. 55 runs from just 44 deliveries. 7 boundaries in there. 4 sixes and 1. Or 6 fours and a 6, of course. And he's out. It didn't last very long. Went the switch hit. Mistimed it. And what a great catch this actually was. Let's have a look at it on the replay screen. Rashid, the man who got the breakthrough. Switch hit attempt. Oh. And Moeen Ali diving to his left. And he's able to take the catch. So Maxwell goes for 56. Australia 7 for 309. Just a couple of overs here for Stark and Zampa and the rest of the bowlers to face out if they want to. But they've got a bit of freedom to swing and miss. Or just to swing. Mitchell Stark swings. And he's out as well. So Australia 8 down now for 318. We've played almost, got about an over and a bit to go. 7 deliveries left for this Australian innings. And Zampa hits that over the top of mid-wicket for 4. So with an over to come, Australia in the 320s. And Adam Zampa is looking good. He's just providing a little outlet here for Australia. And even Cummins. There's a man back there. But it's over his head for 6. Pat Cummins, what a superstar. Just smashing that down to the long-on boundary. And this one now from Cummins on the last ball is out. So Australia end 9 down, 337 the score, though. Oh, that wasn't the last delivery, actually. It was the second last delivery. Zampa and Berendorf, they're coming back for two. They're going to get it. Zampa's going to finish a little handy knock of 20 runs. Australia 9 for 339. 340 runs required for England to chase. That's just under 7 and over needed. But they're going to need a good start from their top order in Australia. They will be absolutely loving this. Steve Smith and Alex Carey, big scorers for Australia, 80 and 68 runs. Even Glenn Maxwell there contributed with a 56. And they had a couple more starts today as well. Kawaja and Finch also getting some starts for Australia. So it allowed them to really work it together. And that big partnership between Smith and Carey, worth about 120 for that fourth wicket, was what Australia needed at the time. And it set them up for a big charge to end up on 337. So what a chase we have coming up here. Berendorf to Roy. He's been brought in for this match. I don't know if he bowled in the last match, Berendorf, or if it was Stanlake, but Australia, they've gone with Berendorf for this match, or maybe it was Richardson Australia went with in the last match, but they've gone with Berendorf this time. Australia's fielding, looking sharp early, causing all kinds of little issues. Outside edge there from Jason Roy off the bowling of Mitch Stark, who was quite expensive with Cummins in the last match. They were both very expensive. Bairstow hitting another boundary. Inside edging it away. And it's been a good sharp start from England. None for 18. Edge from Stark. And Bairstow is out. So Steve Smith gets the wicket, or gets the catch. It was a good sharp opportunity. Takes it right above his eyes. Fingers pointing to the sky, as you often see here in Australia. And the wicket is taken. England 1 for 18. Joe Root, the captain, coming to the middle. Or is Owen Morgan the captain? I think Owen Morgan might be the captain. I'm a little confused as to how this works. But yes, of course. England 1 for 20 though. So they're in a bit of strife early. Can't afford to lose too many early wickets. We saw Australia lost Warner early, but then they built a little partnership. They had a few partnerships early. Finch and Kawaja were good, and then obviously Finch and Kawaja and Smith did a little bit, and then it was obviously Smith and Carey, the mainstays at the crease, that really rebuilt Australia from about 3 for 90 at that point in time. Mitch Stark and Jason Roy in a bit of a battle at the moment. Oh, and that is very close. An inside edge onto his pad that almost goes onto the stumps, but Jason Roy gets away with it and finds himself hitting a boundary not too long later. Wicket. Clean bowled. Jason Roy. Berendorf gets his first. He's now been a handy inclusion to this Australian team, breaking this top order up, dismissing the other opener in Jason Roy, who is a very damaging one-day player. England 2 for 37. And it brings the captain, Owen Morgan, to the crease. So this is now the partnership you feel for England. They've got to rebuild on. They can't afford these two to get out cheaply. Still got a few more in the shed in terms of Butler. And well, maybe that's it. And then I think you start to get to the all-rounders and the bowlers. So there's not too many left in the shed for England. But Owen Morgan, he's looking promising early. There's a couple of boundaries for him. 50 up. Inside the power play. Pat Cummins now into the attack for Australia, and Joe Root says, I'm going to hit you for 4. So England, they'll be pretty happy with this start. They'll be disappointed they've lost a couple of wickets, but starting to see some rebuild. Doesn't last too long. Joe Root's gone as well. It's Berendorf again with the full Yorker to the right-hander over the wicket. Both of them, both Roy and Root, have just not quite played the line or really the length of the delivery, and they're getting caught. Now Butler to the crease, and Butler removed from the crease. A couple of balls later, it's Berendorf again, who I think has 3 now. A couple of bowls, and this one from Butler, just the half volley that he's just smashed straight to mid-wicket. Aaron Finch there taking the catch. And Joss Butler goes for naught. All of a sudden, England 4 for 60 in a bit of strife. As Australia look on Ben Stokes, obviously the new man at the crease now as well. But, they're going to need to find something in this pairing. Otherwise, I think these are the last two of the specialist batsmen for England. That's a shout, is it, maybe? Probably going down the offside from Cummins. And Ben Stokes, who plays this one nicely through the offside, 3 point. Should pick up a couple, and he'll get 4. And now we start to see some aggression from Owen Morgan. They can't let this run rate jump out at them either. I know that teams can score heavily in the back end of the innings, but when you are 4 wickets down inside the first 15 overs, it is going to be a bit troubling. That's close. So a bit of a shout there from the Aussies. Not out given, but it was close. This one's not. Stoinis gets the wicket. Another bold from an Australian point of view. Morgan just playing around it, looking for the swing in, and it just didn't quite swing enough for him. And and almost another wicket moments later. A drop chance by Khawaja at slip. But England, we weren't even finished recapping the previous wicket before they lost another one. 5 for 86. Moeen Ali and Ben Stokes in the middle. Now Moeen, we also know that he's not a bad player. Can play quite well. This one pretty close, almost rolling onto the stumps. Australia going up for no real reason. Outside edge from Stokes. Catch taken. Australia have 6. So Marcus Stoinis, he's got a couple. Behrendorff's got 3, and I think Stark's got the other one. But this has just been a quality bowling unit of Australia. This one, the outside edge of Ben Stokes getting squared up. So Australia were 3 for 90 at one point when they rebuilt. England 6 for 90. No specialist batsmen left at the wicket. Down to the all-rounders in Wokes and Ali, and we're not even 20 overs in this one-day international. Plenty of work for England to do. They need a further 250 runs from these last 4 guys, but let's be real, it's probably going to be an Australian victory, and it's almost inevitable at this point, but they still can play their shots. That's a good drive from Chris Wokes, brings up the 100 for England before edging another boundary through the slips. Lucky to get away with that one. And then just a dot ball there from Marcus Stoinis. Not sure why we're looking at dot balls here. There's no real need to. Australia on their way to levelling this series at 1-1. Of course it is 1-0 England at the moment, but Australia, of course, in a very commanding position, look likely to win this second one-day international, and that will take us to a third and deciding one should Australia go on to win. This is a leading edge from Wokes. This is a catch taken in the field, and this is the finger going up from Chris Wokes. He's gone. Mitchell Starc getting another one. Rashid on his way to the middle. There's a little edge, a little drive. That'll be 4 runs again. And it doesn't last long. Mitchell Starc round the wicket, swinging it in. I think he's bowled him through his legs there. It's quite an extraordinary delivery, to be honest. Absolutely extraordinary. Rashid goes for 4. This one in the air. Ali has got it. Not quite for 6. Just the 4 there. Signals Rossi. A couple of wickets to come for England. There's an edge. There's a catch. Simple as you like. Steve Smith makes it look regulation and doesn't even celebrate too hard. Mitchell Starc has 4. It's a good catch taken by Steve Smith. It's almost as if he's just fielded a ground ball there. Mark Wood gone for a duck. England 9 for 127. Australia not far off victory now. Jofra Archer to the middle. And it says his first match here, which would be interesting, but I guess obviously he might not have played by the time this game was out. Starc looks for 5, big shouts, finger goes up. It looked pretty plumb, didn't it? And Australia make it 1-1. The review does go upstairs, but it is hitting the middle of the bottom of middle stump It is absolutely plum. I guess you've just got to review it. The finger goes up again. Australia level the series at 1-all. All 10 wickets coming from the pace bowlers. Did not even bowl any of their spinners, Australia. Stark 5 for 34. Berendorf 3 for 39, helping the top order out. And then Stoinis, the other 2 wickets there for Australia. Moeen Ali top scored for England with 26 runs as they got knocked over for 129. So anyway, Australia leveled the series at 1-all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy today's video. Make sure you leave a big thumbs up if you did enjoy. Next Friday, we're going to be doing the 3rd one-day international between Australia and England. So you can tune in then to see who wins the series. But I thank you all for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.